Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning, 6 o'clock here on your Friday. We made it, friends. Welcome to Up with KREM and streaming on KREM 2 Plus. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. We, of course, want to celebrate Friday with our meteorologist, Thomas Patrick. We always want to know, Thomas, what the weekend is going to look like ahead of the weekend.
Yeah, well, and especially this weekend, because it's Father's Day on Sunday. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be about perfect weather-wise here, because all this week our temperatures have been kind of cooling off from record-breaking highs from this Monday and Tuesday back to just some more normal but warm June weather. And today I think is going to be just right in that sweet spot. Yes, it is a little cloudy this morning, and that's because a gentle cold front is passing through right now. So there is some clouds attached to it. Not a whole lot of rain. Really, it looks like the only spot that is getting any rainfall is here over southeastern Washington. So anywhere between Pomeroy, Lewiston, maybe even Pullman and Moscow might be getting some very light scattered showers this morning. But once that ends in a few hours, we're in for some perfect weather through the weekend.
Quick look at traffic this morning. It is 6:01 now, almost 6:02, and we're looking at traffic along I-90. Things moving pretty smoothly right now. We're not seeing any major traffic backups or crashes. If that changes, we'll let you know every 30 minutes here on Up with KREM.
A traffic alert for you this morning. East Upriver Drive between Ralph Street and Carlisle Avenue is now closed in both directions for the next 11 days. WashDOT is building a new pedestrian bridge. This is near the Spokane Community College, so expect some delays in this area. The detour is there on your screen. WashDOT recommends using Freya, Euclid, and Perry to get around. Let's get to breaking news. Right now, there's an urgent search to find two missing teens who were last seen on Spokane South Hill. SPD says 16-year-old Caleb, who is on the right, and 15-year-old Gage is on the left. They have not been seen since yesterday morning near Ferris High School. Gage has brown eyes and brown hair and may be wearing the shirt he's wearing in this picture. Caleb has blonde hair and brown eyes. If you see them, call 911 or Crime Check. Continuing coverage this morning on the ICE protest here in Spokane.
We're getting a better picture of what happened, and the mayor's office says they will be reviewing how the city responded. The protest started, remember, when former Spokane City Council member Ben Stuckert posted on social media asking people to join him in protesting ICE. He is the guardian of a Venezuelan man here seeking asylum, and ICE detained him and his friend. As the night went on, the crowd got bigger. Eventually, Spokane Police and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office showed up, calling the gathering unlawful. They said they would arrest protesters if they did not disperse.
When they surrounded vehicles and they started slashing tires of both rented vehicles and vehicles that belong to government agencies, that's not peaceful. That's not demonstrating. That's committing crimes. It's unlawful.
Protesters say they refused to back down because they were trying to stop ICE from transporting the two men out of Spokane. Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall said officers arrested over 30 protesters. One of those arrested was former Spokane City Council member Ben Stuckert. He was confirmed, though, released from jail yesterday morning. Ben Stuckert says he was sitting in the front of what he thought was a Border Patrol van. He says Spokane police warned him he would be arrested if he and other protesters didn't move. While he was prepared to be arrested, Stuckert said he had hoped for a different outcome.
I was expecting him to release the young gentleman. I know a week ago, a gentleman got detained at that ICE center, and a few people stayed behind and monitored the situation, asked ICE to release him, and they did. So I was hoping that same situation would happen, and within a couple hours, maybe a dozen people would show up and help me, and ICE would say, you're right, they have a future court hearing, they're doing everything right, there's no reason to send them off for a deportment hearing in Tacoma.
He acknowledges the demonstration did escalate a few times. Stuckert described it as disciplined and nonviolent rather than strictly peaceful.
Washington state and local representatives are speaking out about the chaotic events. Senator Patty Murray released a statement in response to the immigration protest in downtown Spokane. The Washington senator criticized how immigration officials are handling appointments and immigrant arrests. She wrote in part, quote, "It's totally wrong to abruptly detain legal asylum seekers at their check-in appointments without any justification. We're talking about people who are following the legal process, contributing to their communities, and pose no threat to public safety."
Washington's 5th District Congressman Michael Baumgardner released his own statement about what happened. He praised how local law enforcement and government officials handled the protests. He wrote, quote, "I'd like to applaud our law enforcement's timely response and effective use of restraint to not let the situation escalate," end quote.
One group keeping an eye on Wednesday's events was Thrive International. The organization often works closely with refugees to help them. They also let people know about the protest before it started. KREM 2 News spoke with them about why they wanted to bring attention to yesterday's protest.
No due process for a lot of people, even citizens in many cases, but definitely for refugees and asylum seekers. You know, they want to run and hide because it's a scary time. And even when they do all the right things, they still get put in detention when they follow all the rules.
Meantime, 2 protesters appeared in Superior Court yesterday after being held in the Spokane County Jail. Court documents show they are accused of unlawful imprisonment. Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles says unlawful imprisonment is a felony. He says protesters were committing the crime by not letting employees leave the Homeland Security building. Both people in court were released with arraignment dates next week.
We will be continuing coverage on the ICE protests. In our next half hour, we're talking about a federal judge ruling about President Trump deploying the National Guard to LA.
6:07 developing this morning, Iran has launched a counterstrike against Israel after Israel targeted Iran's nuclear facilities overnight. Israel's military says Iran has launched more than 100 drones. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Iran, which has long threatened to eliminate Israel, has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. He also claims that in recent months, Iran has taken steps to weaponize the nuclear material. This morning, President Donald Trump is sharing his thoughts on the strikes against Iran, saying he's given the country chance after chance to make a deal. The president posted on Truth Social saying in part, quote, "Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction, just do it before it is too late," end quote.
The family of the 3 girls murdered in Chelan County set a day and time for their memorial service.
It's happening next Friday, June 20th at 7 p.m. at the Rocky Beach Park north of Wenatchee. Organizers are asking those attending to wear purple, pink, or green in honor of the girls. They are also asking that you bring your own candle. In the meantime, law enforcement in Chelan County think they are closing in on Travis Decker. He is charged with killing the girls who are his daughters. Tips are from hikers led authorities to Kolchak Lake now. New evidence narrowed the search to the area around Ingalls Creek trailhead off of Highway 97. Hikers and residents are asked to stay on alert while the search continues.
We're learning more this morning about 2 Spokane Rite Aid stores closing their doors. The Rite Aids on Regal Street and Division Street were officially added to the list of store closings for Rite Aid. We don't know exactly what day they will close yet, but we do know some stores in Coeur d'Alene and Hayden are set to close at some point this month.
WSP is reminding drivers to properly secure cargo while driving. They say almost 40% of the litter on the roads comes from unsecured cargo. Depending on what is in your vehicle, there are different ways to secure it, options like cargo nets, tarps, and straps.
At 6:09 on this Friday morning, weather conditions today just feeling a bit more like a normal June day as opposed to the higher heat, which is what we had to start out this week. Current temperatures 50s and some 40s on the map, including 48 degrees in Ritzville, one of the cooler spots as of this morning. But the sunshine will be out for this afternoon for most of the area, getting us into the upper 70s. Actually a bit cooler than it has been the last couple days, but I think we'll take it after a couple days in those 90s. Looks like we have some beautiful weather upcoming through this weekend.